Today I wanted to do a video on just my symptoms. So when my symptoms started in 2000, towards the end of 2017, it was just dizziness at first, on and off while I was driving. I would have to suddenly pull over while I was driving, let it pass, and then start driving again. It normally only lasted 1 to 2 minutes, and then I could go on about my daily life. But now, it did start getting worse and worse the more I drove and the longer that this dizziness happened. So it started to become more common while I was driving and happen for longer. So I started having to drive main roads only to where I could pull over quickly. And then I started to not feel safe driving at all. And then I started to get brain fog, where it was really hard to think of the names of words, everyday objects that, I would use every day. Like a table or a coffee table or, just simple words that I would know every day. I would lose my train of thought right in the middle of talking and forget what I was talking about. It's really hard to follow along and focus when someone is telling me like a long story as well. And that started after all of the brain fog started as well. I never used to have a problem with that in the past. And then I started having issues taking showers. The warmer the shower, I would get dizzy and feel off balance while I was in the shower and would have to stop, sit down, and then continue. Taking a bath is even worse. I guess because my body is normally fully submerged into the water. So I had to start, doing little things to make it easier for me to take a shower. It's more, I think, the water temperature because of not being able to stand hotter water. It's basically got to be like lukewarm now for me to take a shower and to feel my symptoms not come on a lot. Then it started with the off balance feeling. I started getting dizzy while I was walking. The short distances was fine, but longer distances was not okay. I used to enjoy walking a lot for exercise, and I could no longer do that. So that was really depressing for me, not to be able to enjoy even daily walks anymore, not even for short distances. And then I started to feel off balance while I was my body was tipping over to the side while I was walking. And then that started to happen while I was just standing. So it made it really difficult to do any kind of physical activity. Even if I was just standing for a long period of time, not even that long really, just up to 5 minutes, I would start feeling dizzy, off balance. So that was really tough. The dizziness continued to get more frequent. Now it happens a lot and more intense. Sometimes it is the spinniness where the whole room is spinning, and sometimes it's more like a rocking, like I'm on a boat almost, like where my whole body is like rocking and swaying type of dizziness. It's very odd. So it's been really hard to get a diagnosis because of the frequency in which I get my dizziness as well, and how long I have been getting it. Turning around too fast will cause me to be dizzy. Lifting my arms above my head, bending down to get stuff. When I first initially bend down, it's okay, but if I'm bent down for too long, it's not okay. I do have to stand up slowly. They checked me for POTS. That is not the issue, according to their criteria of it. It's not what's going on with me. So I guess my blood pressure does not drop and my heart rate does not increase like it should. So I did have like a small reaction when they did the tilt table test, but it was nothing major and nothing for the criteria of POTS. So that is where I'm at right now with that. It then started to go into, with my dizziness, when I had my dizziness spells, that I would get very shaky as well. Even if I've drinking plenty of water, done everything I was supposed to do, I would get real shaky, especially on my right side, I've noticed, is more so shaky than my left side. But I would get real shaky as I was getting dizzy. My eyes would start to blur, and it would be hard to focus and see. And then once the dizziness spell wore off, I mean, I still had I started getting like weakness in my legs too. Then joint pain started. That is a newer symptom, is the joint pain. My knees, ankles, and hips have been very sore lately. I try to get up and walk and do things to make sure that I'm exercising, but it's just extremely difficult. I can't really get many answers of why this is all happening. They have checked me out thoroughly with a lot of different things and no answers. So I'm struggling to get to that. I have had some skin issues as well. My scalp has been having a lot of itchiness and just different things along with that. I also have noticed that when my so-called flare-ups now is what I call them because it seems to happen where if I do too much physically, like do dishes or laundry or even vacuum, too much of all of that in one day will cause me to be down for days. So I'll get up clean. So say I do dishes and laundry both in the same day, and then I decide that I want to vacuum too. That will make me feel so bad that the next day I am very dizzy, very weak, very tired. I also have extreme fatigue that has come along with this. No matter how much sleep I get, I'm extremely tired. So tired during the days. Some nights I do have trouble sleeping, but those nights are not very often anymore. It's more so that I get normal sleep and it's just not enough. I'm just wake up so exhausted, hard time getting out of bed. I did have thyroid problems, hypothyroidism. They recently have checked my labs and they're very thorough about checking my labs very often, and those have been good for a really long time. So it's not that. So it's just been really hard. They have my primary care physician noticed that my CO2 levels for a little while have been pretty low. So she wants me to do a sleep study. She has referred me to a sleep clinic close to my area, so I have an orientation with them. That's like a virtual visit at the end of this month. But then they'll see basically after that if they're going to do a sleep study or not on me and see where that goes. She said, my primary care says that she doesn't think that this is what's causing my dizziness, but it could be causing the extreme fatigue. I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor, but whatever does seem to be going on with the dizziness and all that, all the other symptoms seem to be connected in my eyes. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, and they keep telling me that it's not immediately life-threatening, but it seems to me that it might be chronic, whatever is going on with me. They seem to be missing some kind of key component of what this may be, too. I've noticed that a lot of doctors, when I first was starting to try to get diagnosed, to just say, it's anxiety, it's stress, you need to lose some weight. But then I did lose weight and nothing happened. I'm not stressed out all the time. If I do get stressed, this kind of seems to play off my emotions too. So if I get too stressed, too anxious, too scared even, too happy, I get too dizzy. I get dizzy. So it seems to play off my emotions some of how I feel as well. So it's so weird. It's been really hard for anyone to understand. The people who seem to understand in my family, I don't think that they fully understand what's going on with me because they've never had to deal with it. I really hope that maybe somebody has had some of these symptoms and can relate to what I'm going through. If you haven't, I hope that this gives you some insight that some people do really go through stuff that they just can't control, that happens to them on a daily basis, that gives them really a lot of issues just living life and taking care of themselves. My next video, I think I will try to go through a little bit of my daily struggles with that too, like how it affects my daily life. Oh, there was one symptom too that I did forget to add into here. It's a newer symptom as well. Actually, it's not too much newer, but it is been going on for the past couple of years. So I've been working from home, which has been great, not having to worry about commuting or anything. But I have noticed that when I'm scrolling on the internet, I work at a job that I have to get on like their internet and look through things on their website and stuff for customers. And I've noticed that that makes me dizzy too. If I scroll too fast, if the lights are too bright, the sun makes me dizzy. The sun, if I'm out in it too long, gives me this kind of rash on my arm. It's really odd because I never had any of those problems or issues prior to any of this. And it might not even be the heart surgery that caused all these symptoms. It might have been that triggering something in my body that was maybe lying dormant, or that just started to come about because of all the traumatic stuff that happened with the heart surgery, or my body trying to heal from it. I'm not really sure. I know though that I get pushed off a lot by doctors because it's just stress, just anxiety. My neurologist at the Cleveland Clinic has been probably the most helpful with all of this. But still, they don't quite understand that it's hard to even work from home. When you're dizzy and you can't see straight, it's hard to do things. I hope this might give a little bit of insight if somebody is dealing or struggling with something that they have a hard time communicating, because it has been really hard to communicate with my doctors exactly what's going on with me. It's taken me a long time to kind of put into words how I feel at times, because of the brain fog or, different things going on. So I hope this helps someone. And who knows, maybe it'll help me get some answers. Maybe somebody's went through a similar situation and might know what is happening with me, so that the doctors can test me or help me figure this out. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you have a blessed day.